Wlodarski. I'm an archaeologist and a paranormal investigator. Worked in this area since 1973. And we're standing actually at the former Beaurivage Restaurant, which I think was built somewhere around 1983 by the Forge family. And the unique thing about this place is to the right, we have a Native American cemetery and archaeological site, which has basically been graded away and pushed under the Pacific Coast Highway in that direction. Portions of the site still remain. As far as I know, from when this was excavated, the dates for the site range around 2,500 years ago, so it's a pretty old site. Human remains were found. This was also used during World War II as a scouting location for the Coast Guard to watch for Japanese subs that might have come offshore. We'll keep getting words. This one is deplete. The history of the paranormal is just unbelievable. We've been here now about 6 times with all of our equipment. We've had shadow figures, we've had apparitions, we've had sound of children and music. We usually go down in the basement to do our sessions because it's quieter. So we've had a lot of stuff in the kitchen. And in this room, there used to be a mural on this wall and one of the wall back of me. It was called, I think, the Neptune's room. And we were here doing sessions with trigger objects, Raggedy Ann and Raggedy Andy dolls, which we use. And we've got a lot of words that we use on our tape recorder. We call it electronic voice phenomenon. We've got names like Tony, Anthony, which was supposed to be a mafia person who died. We've got a Annabelle, Nana, Carol, just a lot of names. Basement seems to be the most dominant or predominant spot for paranormal activity, but we have had a lot of stuff here, and people have recorded music playing from a piano, which doesn't exist anymore, and sound of people talking, family conversations, footsteps, sort of the usual gamut of paranormal activity. This is the haunted kitchen. We've had a lot of activity in this place too. We had one of the doors open and shut when we were standing here doing a session. Over here where the grill was, we've had a couple of trigger objects going off when we're asking if there was a spirit here. They would light up. The trigger objects basically pick up electromagnetic energy and they will start flashing if there's something here. We had stuff here in back of me. We've had people talking, pots and pans being moved. Some of the stories from the prior owner talk about that, about the chefs closing up late at night, hearing people talking, doors opening and shutting and banging of plates and everything. So this has its own kind of paranormal ambiance to it. The history, literally, if you go back 2,500 years, this has been occupied ever since by the restaurants.
There was a village in there.
Yeah, right over there in our friend
place. Do you recall what the name of that village was?
No, it just had a number, which I think every site in California has a designation, a numeric designation, and this was called LAM for Los Angeles County 28. And it was discovered, I think, by the Hay Foundation in New York back in the 20s, and then excavated, or remains of it, in the 50s. Our friend, who we actually made contact with, who deceased, his name was Clay Singer, and we actually ran into Clay downstairs, made his presence known.
Yeah, he's made contact with us more than a few times, and very loudly sometimes. In this area here, kind of where the front door is and the stairs that lead upstairs, we've recorded a woman's voice being right there, and it's been said there's a woman that pretty much maybe she was the owner's wife at one time, or maybe she was a hostess here. But she seems to be right in this area, right behind us here by the front door, almost like a greeter or a hostess or something like that. And then with the piano that used to be right there, right behind where the camera is now, not too far to travel, maybe from where that woman that we picked up on over there to here, and for all we know, it could have been the same spirit, and we kept on getting the name Lisa.
Yeah.
And it seemed to be the two primary names were Lisa and Tony. I'm not sure we really know who they are.
No.
A lot of it's trying to confirm what we get here, and it's pretty tough. It's pretty tough to confirm anything.
It is. But that's what makes it so interesting. The history and the paranormal is trying to piece things together and see if we can get occasions where we get multiple hits on, say, a name,
and maybe the trigger object spike, things that may lead us to the conclusion that it might be that person.
Yeah, and we can't say everything we reported is paranormal here, but we have heard enough interesting things. Enough interesting things happen to make us want to keep coming back here and investigating more. Malibu gets its name from a Chumash name.
Yeah, Malibu.
Which means the
surf sound.
The big sound, the big surf sound.
Loudly, yeah.
And so it's referring to the sound of the waves crashing on the beach.
So here they took Humaliwu, which is the Chumash name, and they shortened it to Malibu, and there you have it.
Now we've made it to the top of the Beaurivage, and this has a lot of stories associated with the ghost elevator and the stairwell, where one of the workers that was here, probably back in the late 1980s, reported seeing a woman in white coming up the stairs and getting to the top and vanishing. The elevators were known to just come up for no reason at all. There were no issues with servicing or whatever, but as you can tell, PCH, Pacific Coast Highway, is in that direction, which would be south. Then we have the back of the restaurant, standing probably right next to where the burials would have been, where the Chumash village would have been, and then we're facing Solstice Canyon in the back of here. This is where a lot of the apparitions have been sighted, and over the years, the caretaker and night guard has reported seeing lights coming from the window when it was closed down, and he was monitoring at night. Heard people talking. When he'd come in, he heard like shuffling and people running away, and it was completely empty. And maybe when they reopen it, they will have a bed and breakfast, they'll have a restaurant, and they'll still have the spirits of the Beaurivage.